All right. So tell us about the success you've had this football season and some of the things that have brought you to this point.
We've got a big senior class that's experienced guys that are very talented. The coaches have worked extremely hard, and I'm blessed to have some great assistant coaches. And anytime you have leadership like we have on our team this year, we tend to have a lot of success. So I'm proud of the leadership that the seniors have put in, and they really kind of set the tone for the rest of the players and show them the way things are done and give them a roadmap to success. So I think that's the biggest part of our success is the leadership that we have. Um, the season's been phenomenal. It's been a fun one, and it matches the kind of leadership we're getting out of our senior groups.
Okay. So tell us some things that you've made a point to focus on after the preseason.
We went through summer training and practiced, and each week's a new week. We've been focusing on, we lost a lot of offensive linemen last year. We lost 3 of our starters. So one of the focuses we wanted to make was being able to have good offensive line play on offense. We wanted to be able to establish the run game because that's very important as a football team. And then defensive line, kind of the same group of guys. We lost Colton LaCrone and Nathan Cunningham, and then also Tucker Davis, who were very good players. So we wanted to, get our guys physical, first of all, this summer by lifting and summer strength conditioning. And then we wanted to really focus on getting those guys' technique up to where it needed to be to pick up where we left off up front, because that's a huge part of the game, being able to win in the trenches.
Okay, so how does your coaching environment affect your staff and players?
I try to be positive. All of us have our days, but where things happen that get you in a bad mood. But I try to be a positive coach and maintain good relationships with coaches and the players and keep it a positive environment. And I think that's something that our kids probably enjoy. We want coaches and players to feel like they have a voice and they can speak up at any time. And I think that helps the overall culture and mentality of the team when they know that they're working with people that care about them. So,
who are some of the leaders on your team, and what makes them good leaders?
We got our senior group we talked about, Brian Jackett and Dagan Dean, Eric Erb, Ty Leedy, to name a few. Those guys have really stepped up into a leadership role. Trey Dillo and Wyatt Costin are 2 more. Those guys are the hardest workers in the room when we have summer weights. All the things that aren't fun, those guys are the first ones to show up, and they're always working hard. So it's a big deal to have guys like that, because it sets the tone for the freshmen when they come into the program to see how the upperclassmen work. And I remember even being a freshman in high school looking up to the older kids and wanting to be like them. So it's extremely important that leadership and those upperclassmen are hard workers, and the people that do the most, and they also have spoke up really well this year. It's not easy to speak up in front of a team, but they've done a good job being vocal leaders as well.
So how have your keys to success changed from a game-to-game basis?
New teams pose different threats. Like this week, we'll be facing a passing team that wants to throw the ball quite a bit. Last week, we knew Coffeyville was going to run the ball almost every play of the game. So just get prepared for what defensive fronts they give our offensive line, so we can run the ball, what coverages. And then we really sit down and look at what we need to do to exploit what they do. On offense, the defensive coaches do the same thing. They look at the threats that they pose, and they figure out what defensive fronts we need to give them and coverages to give them the biggest fits at moving the ball. So every week's a new week. It's a busy weekend for us coaches, and we're working. We don't get a day off during football season. So, it's awesome for those guys, those assistants. The job they do is fantastic, and I really appreciate it. And we're all working, this whole fall. So we're going to continue to do so and get ready for each team and get ready for a win, hopefully here tonight, and going into the playoffs.
So tell us a little bit more about that game against Coffeyville. Things we did good, things we might have struggled with.
Well, we got the ball first, and we took off, and went right down the field, and then we fumbled. So I think we fumbled 3 times in the first half. We gave up a big kick return and really put ourselves in a hole. And really, it was the first time we've faced adversity this season. So it was probably a good thing, because you're always going to have a game like that during the course of a season. And the way our kids responded was unbelievable. There was no panic from them. They just kept plugging away, kept playing football. I never saw a panic look on any of our starters' faces. They were like, all right, let's get rolling. rolling, let's fix it, and let's move on. And that's exactly what they did. So Coffeyville was challenging. They had a really strong run game, and we struggled to stop it. But in the end, we made the stops when we needed to and had guys step up and got our offense rolling, quit turning the ball over, and prevailed.
So what all can we expect from Obet, and how have you been preparing for that game?
A lot more pass defense for us is how we've been preparing. We can expect them to want to throw the ball. They want to remain balanced. They don't want us to know we're going to throw it every play, type of thing. But they really want to throw the ball. They have a very good quarterback, and I think his name's Kendall Holtzman. They have two very good receivers. I know Griffin Eaton is one of them that have caught a lot of balls this year. So they're a team for the first time this year that wants to throw the ball more than they want to run it. So we've really had to focus this week in preparing for pass defense and how we're going to put pressure on the quarterback and making sure we're not giving up any big plays in the back end. So it's been a lot different week. We've been focusing on a lot of run fits up to this point and stopping the run. And this week we got to worry about the pass and the run.
All right. Well, thank you for your time. Good luck tonight.
Thank you very much.